there's a multiple faceted strategy for getting that done, and that's a good question. Salary or draws? And I guess the answer is terrible. The answer is it depends. And I'll tell you what it depends on, okay? If you are in a place where you want to transform your business into an asset, because a lot of people have businesses that are just glorified jobs. All of my businesses, for my intention, are designed to be assets. And if they're assets, that means that they need to eventually be able to thrive without me as an operational force in the business. That means that they need to be able to create enough value that there is no piece of the business that requires that I interact with it. Okay. So with that philosophical statement in mind, here's how you go about designing compensation that makes sense from an asset building perspective. If you are working for your business currently, it is important that you value your services to the business as if you could be replaced. So you create a salary around your activities as an operational feature of your business. Does that make sense? I just can have to imagine you're shaking your head yes. Okay, that's the first part. If you cannot justify your activities in the business with the draw that you want to be able to take, then you kind of have to do a quasi activity. So the thing that we talk about, and I talk about this in another course that we created called the Profitable Partnership Maximizer. And you can check it out. It's partnershipmaximizer.com. That's the course that we go into real depth in operational versus equity compensation. But we'll talk about it here a little. What happens is you get that salary down, and then the rest that you may need, you take as an owner's compensation, as an owner's draw, whatever you want to call it. The reason you want to do both is because you know what it takes for you to live, and you know what your business can afford to pay for the services that it provides and for the people that it hires. The hope is that as you continue to grow, you would live less and less on a salary and more on the draw from the business or on the distributions from the business. So eventually, in your mind's eye, think that if you pay yourself whatever your true contribution to the business is worth, and you mix that with an equity distribution that makes up the rest of what you need, when your business grows to the point that you can hire somebody to replace you as that CEO or whatever your situation is, you can give that job away, and you already have ready-made budgeted income around, or ready-made budgeted expenses around that job, and you continue to grow with the membership draw that you're able to justify taking more and more of. What happens a lot of times where businesses begin to devolve is the owner will pay himself a really good salary because he needs it, and his employees are looking at him, they're going along as normal, and then he wants to go do something else, but he still wants to get paid. So they're going to have to find a completely different reason to justify why somebody else should get paid the same salary or a different salary. And it gets really hairy and really ugly, and people can't find themselves leaving their business. So if you set it up early, then you can go ahead and get that done later. Does that make sense? So just to recap, operational salary versus membership draw, do both if you can. If you can't, that's okay too. If there's not even enough money to do any of this, then create a function, a capital account in your accounting software, and what you would have earned if you had cash, just put that into your equity that you're literally beginning to build in your company, so you can at least quantify what the time and sweat equity that you devoted to this company has been worth before you could pay yourself.